Good day, folks. Coach Johnson here. This will be my last episode of Friday Fitness Facts, not because I'm stopping the education, just I'm going to move on to the format to Dirty Fitness Secrets. That's going to be our new format. Today's going to be kind of a long video. I'm going to cover several things, and I'm going to talk about this chart that's on the wall here next to me. So first of all, I'm going to talk about variety in fitness, and a lot of times trainers are really big on mixing it up and adding variety and teaching you all kinds of new moves. And there's really nothing wrong with that in general. What I find is this variety of the training and the mixing up is often a result of the boredom of the instructor. One of the challenges I have when I'm training kickboxing instructors for our format is we have a very specific format designed to work really well for a lot of people, get great results. And one of the challenges is they get kind of bored teaching the same kind of a class, even though our class is different, and they want to add stuff in. They want to do some advanced moves, and they want to really change up the intensity. But it's important to remember that when you're teaching a class or when you're teaching a client, it's not about you. It's about what results and what level the client and the students are working at. So I just find that it's a challenge. When you get people who are very, very active and very, very motivated in fitness, they often want to ramp the class up, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. The other thing I find about the mass variety of exercises from a lot of coaching instructors and trainers is that they have a burning desire to look cutting edge. Like, I'm going to teach you this crazy new ab workout. You're going to feel it. It's going to burn, and it's going to you're going to be sore. Burning and soreness are not necessarily. That sounds really bad. Burning and soreness are not necessarily indicators of great progress in your exercise regime. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It could just be that you're doing something different. Anyway, so be aware of the variety addiction, where you just want to do new stuff, and and sometimes clients get bored, and I get that. The thing is not that I don't think routines are boring, but I want you to see some measurable results. So if we never do the same exercise program twice, how are you going to know if you're getting stronger? Obviously if your goal is just to lose weight, that's easy to track. You can check your clothing, all that kind of stuff. But if you're looking to get stronger and healthier and be more productive in your exercise, you have to be able to have something that you can measure. And if every exercise program is completely different, or it changes all the time, it's going to be hard to measure. Okay, so let's move on to our next top dirty secret, if you will, and this is going to be talking about the spectrum here. This is I have a chart just like this that I use to train our kickboxing instructors, and the way it works is this. This is a continuum, a spectrum of exercise from mellow to crazy. Mellow, you have things like Tai Chi, you have the chair workouts, and your total couch potatoes, they're over here. They're not even on the spectrum. They're not even working out at all. Some of your weekend warriors fall in here. They only work out once in a while. And over here on the crazy side, you have your stuff like your super high intensity CrossFit. You have your competitive athletes. People who have a need to work out at an incredible energy and intensity level. What I find is, in my kickboxing program, IYC Kickboxing, it's designed to cover this. And it was programmed specifically for this. So I'm not obviously promoting our kickboxing program, but this is exactly what it's designed to do, because most people are going to fall on the spectrum as far as what they need and what they want to do. When people see the crazy trainers doing stuff, they're often, I don't know if they're more inspired or just entertained. We have guys doing incredible plyometric stuff with push-ups and box jumps up 6 feet high, and they're flipping over tires and then dive rolling over and then shooting back through and doing those things. That's really entertaining. And it's fun. If you're working, if this is where you train, those things are fun because you can maybe see yourself doing them. But if you're somewhere in here and you see these crazy routines, you're like, wow, that's a crazy routine. You're probably not likely to see yourself doing that. Nor do you need to, unless your goals are something way over here. So again, most people are going to operate in this middle, the green and orange area, and that's all you need to get results, unless you are way down here. And I bring this up because so many people are really hesitant to start something because they don't see themselves doing it. They're like, well, I'm not in shape. And look, guys, here's one of my next topics is, please stop waiting to get in shape before you get in shape. Just start. Don't let waiting for perfect get in the way of getting started. Moving forward is momentum. Momentum creates, energy. Motivation follows action is a phrase I would like to follow. So get started. Do something positive. Take one step towards that goal. And if you're working with me, I have a whole bunch of guidelines. Work with other coaches or trainers. Just take one step closer to what they're telling you need to do, and you're already on your way. Don't wait for perfect and let that get in the way of get good enough to get started. So most exercise routines are going to fall somewhere in here. Down here we have the mellow stuff, the crazy stuff. When I do when I work obviously with personal training clients, we modulate that depending on what their ability is, what their goals are, what their motivation is. So, and then again, as part of the Dirty Fitness acronym, is the why is you need to find your own why. You need to find out what it is that makes you want to get in shape. Is it to have more time, to have more quality time with your kids? Is it to fit in clothes that you have but you can no longer use? Is it because you are going on vacation and you want to look good for photos? Is it because you're getting married or have a friend getting married and you have to wear a certain dress? Is it because you just don't want to feel embarrassed when you go to the pool or the beach? I don't know what it is. And when you talk with a trainer or a coach, that's important that you have that in mind. If you just if you talk to me and say, hey, coach, I want to get in shape. First of all, I'm going to say, well, what does that mean to you? Does that mean you want to lose body fat? Does it mean you want to bulk up? Does it mean you want to be able to, do 5 flights of stairs without losing your breath? So that's step one. You have a measurable, clear goal. 2 is I'm going to ask you, okay, why is this important to you? What is your motivation? If it's something like, well, my husband's really gotten on my case because I've gained some weight since our last baby, that's not a good thing. Your external motivation is going to be tough to maintain. I want you to dig down and find a why that inspires you to take the steps to move that towards that goal. So that being said, just take some action, find the why. And I'm going to talk about one more thing today. And this is it's a super important part of my programs. It should be part of any program. This is so we have this workout. Everybody gets this part. Go on Instagram, see crazy workouts, go on Facebook, go to, someone's page. They're going to be doing stuff. Now, maybe it's mellow, maybe it's Tai Chi, maybe it's slow, or maybe it's going to be kickboxing or circuit training, or maybe it's going to be, CrossFit or tire flipping and sprints with, a sled behind you, whatever it is. People get that. People like to work out because they feel it. It's a tangible right away. I will tell you this, and most trainers will tell you this as well. If your goal is to look better and feel better, the diet, your eating is going to be the biggest part of that equation. Okay, hold on, don't freak out yet. I'm not saying you can't ever have a cookie again. When I do the Dirty Fitness, because I want you to do it right this time, not necessarily take a half-hearted stab and give up because it's too hard. I want you to understand what percentage of a compliance means. So I'm going to give guidelines of what I found to be very, very effective to get you to where you need to go, whether you're an athlete, whether you just want to look better, or whether you're rehabilitating an injury. So I'm going to give you some guidelines. The closer you stick to those guidelines, the better and faster the results are going to be. The farther you drift away from those guidelines, the slower and less impressive the results are going to be. It doesn't mean they won't happen. It just means that you have to understand that if you decide to comply only 70% of what I'm talking about, you'll probably make progress, but it's going to be slower and it won't be like, wow. And I'll tell you this is a true dirty secret. So a couple months ago, about a little over 2 months ago, we did a photo shoot for the academy. Me and some of my students and myself got down, wore our athletic clothes, went shirtless, did some kickboxing, did some exercises. Now, ramping up to that, I worked out pretty hard. I was really focused, and my compliance was like 90%. I really wanted to look good because I'm going to be in pictures. So was really focused. I was putting in probably 4 or 5 hours a week of training. Usually with Dirty Fitness, I recommend like 2 hours of training, hour and a half. Basically, the program I'm going to be coming out with very soon is going to be called a 1% Express, which basically you use 1% of the time a week. There's 168 hours in a week. If you use 1.68 hours to work towards your fitness, you can make great results. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so since the photo shoot, my compliance has been 75% of what I usually recommend. What that means is I have certain things I like to eat for massive results. I'm at like 75%. Sometimes I don't follow it. Sometimes I do. But here's the thing, guys. I'm working out maybe 2 hours a week total: cardio, weight training, resistance, kickboxing, and my compliance is like 75%, which is not impressive. I'm still within like 2 pounds of where I was 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago. We did the photo shoot. So my point being is, you don't need to operate at this level to feel good and be healthy. Now, again, the closer you are to both the intensity of the training and the compliance of your eating, the better results you're going to get. But you don't have to be a freak about it. You don't need to be a nut. You don't have to be, somebody people are like, oh my gosh, you're so obsessed with this. So I want you to understand that. So the diet is the most important part of getting results for almost all of your fitness goals. And the better you stick to your program, the better results you get. But it doesn't mean you will fail if you slip up. But you still have to be kind of, working towards that. You can't just say, well, I ate good today, so I'm going to eat like crap for the next 4 days. You're going to sabotage yourself. And you've probably done that before. And I have clients who, people I've worked with, they got great results, and then they fell off the program because we did like a 12-week challenge or 6, whatever it was, and they stopped and they slide right back. Again, you've probably experienced this too. I know I have. There's been several times in my life where I've been in really good shape and lean and feeling good, and you just kind of fall off the wagon. You kind of stop focusing on it, and so that happens to almost all of us at some point, unless you're like very, very young and you haven't experienced that yet. But the cool thing is I've been doing this for 25 years or so, and I've got a pretty good handle on what works, how much effort's needed, how much time is needed. Again, if your goal is to compete at a super high intensity level, the Dirty Express isn't going to be as effective for you. It's designed to get someone looking good, feeling good in a very small amount of time and energy. I have clients who want to do more. They want to fight. They want to compete. They want to do other stuff. That's fine. That takes a little bit different program. Most people are going to operate right in here as far as both their exercise intensity and their eating compliance. So, all right, guys. So this is it. Long video of the day. It's my last Friday Fitness Facts video. It's going to be called Dirty Fitness Secrets from now on. I'm going to put it up to my YouTube channel. You got to give me, help me out a little bit. Subscribe. I want to be able to do some cool stuff. So if you don't know about YouTube, there's some things you can or can't do until you have enough subscribers. So subscribe to my channel. I'll give you all kinds of stuff for free. I want people to be healthy. If they end up signing up with me or signing up with my school, awesome. That's great. But my bigger mission, I want to bring health and fitness to people that really want to get there. And you don't have to be a crazy nut about it. That's the coolest thing. So the program I'm working on now is not about training fighters to be an MMA. It's not about training people to do crazy, 13-mile obstacle course races. Those are awesome things to do. But most people aren't interested in doing that. Most people just want to feel better. They just want to look better, have a little more energy, fit into clothes better. They just want to feel confident. They want to feel like they have control of their life. So if you have any questions, leave me a note. Make sure you subscribe so I can give you more content, and I will talk to you soon.